lot to talk about today, guys, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, to start with, Matt Ford from the Good Trouble Show has some bold words. Starting in January, folks in the DoD and IC, the intelligence community, involved in the UAP Deep Legacy program, other related SAPs, CAPs, along with individuals that signed off on whistleblower retaliation, will learn what comeuppance means. And I know who you are. Dun, 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 dun. I love it, man. Yeah, you go, Matt. And now, does this have something to do with Stephen Greer's whistleblowers coming forward? Does this have something to do with, the Trump administration? We've heard that there potentially will be a new crew of top CIA people to replace some of the old CIA people that might be more transparent and, in fact, maybe, actively pushing things forward. So, it's unclear what Matt means by this. Is this something that he is going to do or that something he is part of? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out. Meanwhile, we have Stephen Greenstreet caught in an hilarious attempt at disinformation. The drone mass hysteria is Exhibit A for why eyewitness testimonies of senators, governors, police officers, military pilots, journalists, and average citizens can be 100% completely wrong. Planes, helicopters, satellites, and stars were misidentified as drones or UFOs. And he's calling this image of a supposed mystery drone into question. And he's saying that this is the mystery drone. But it gets really amusing here because that's not the actual photo. Or rather, he's showing the helicopter in that photo, but the text is over the actual drone. That's right. The helicopter was evidently going to check out the drone, which is here. Yeah, so that's the drone in question. And in Stephen Greenstreet's image, he posted a picture of the helicopter over the drone. Yeah, you have been called out, Stephen Greenstreet. You have been exposed as a disinformation agent. Speaking of disinformation, the lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, former director of AARO, is making the rounds again. That's right, he has reared his head to comment on the mystery drones. Speaking of calling them drones, he says this is progress. The reason this outbreak looks so familiar is that such drone sightings would previously have been identified as UAP ones. It's only after years of concerted efforts in education and transparency by U.S. Department of Defense officials that UAP sightings have rightfully evolved into common drone identification. So yeah, he's using the whole mystery drone phenomenon to debunk UFOs, saying they're all drones, guys. Roswell was a drone. The Phoenix Lights, a drone. It's all drones, guys, and the mystery drones prove that it's all drones. Never mind the anomalous features of the mystery drones, which actually prove that drones are probably more likely exotic technology than anything else. So the reverse is true compared to what he's saying here. Anyway, I'm not going to read the whole article, but if you want to read Sean Kirkpatrick's disinformation article about the mystery drones, I'll link to it below, sadly published at the Scientific American. I expect better of you, Scientific American. I don't know why, but I do. Speaking of mystery drones, a New Jersey mayor is talking about a sighting from a few days ago. I think this was actually on Christmas Eve.
Just a few days ago, it was Christmas Eve. So I just happened to have my dryer shit the bed, and we had to go out and get a new one. So I took two of my boys, and we went to a couple of places, Lowe's and Home Depot. And we got one. We got it loaded up, and we're at Home Depot, and we are actually looking out the parking lot, and I saw what looked like to be a drone. And I looked down at my phone, and I looked up again, and I saw it again. This is a minute or two later. So I asked my one son, I'm like, do you see that? He's like, oh, there's another one coming. In just a few minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, we saw 7 drones. They came this way. They followed the ridge line over Cedar Crest, which is an assisted living facility, and then they went towards New York City. And then when we got back to the house 15, 20 minutes later, drones were coming over the house in a very specific pattern. We opened up our flight app. We opened up our drone app. There was nothing there. There was nothing there at all. All three of us got our phones and our cameras out, and not one of us was able to take a good picture. And as you can see, we also have our telescope, and yeah, I just suck at that. So anyway, they're still out there.
I think he said strip the bed. Yeah, that's where my mind went. Meanwhile, remember the orb that hit the truck? I'll show you the video. The really wild video. Look at that crazy thing just hitting a truck. Now, it's not the first time an orb has hit a truck. I've shown video before of an orb hitting a John Bell's truck from Real Florida UFO. Crazy stuff. I've also shown video of an orb, possibly more of the paranormal variety, unclear, actually hitting a person and knocking him out of a door. Crazy video. Orbs are weird. But this is really interesting because we now have additional footage of this thing. Okay, check this out. I guess that's a camera from the truck itself. You can hear the object. Interesting noise it's making, just like a projectile sort of noise, not making any, noticeable engine noise or other noise where you can hear whatever propulsion it might be using. Clearly it's powered by something.
Salinas, California.
And here is the hole it made in this truck.
Yeah, check this out. Someone in Salinas is shooting projectiles, explosives. Check this out, fellas. This is not a firework. Whatever hit this, it even blew out the glass on this truck. That's nuts.
Yeah, pretty nuts, right? So that's the damage that thing did to that truck. Wild. Is that a malfunction of that orb? I doubt it intentionally wanted to ram a truck, but maybe it did. I don't know. I guess we need to ask an orb. Orbs, if you want to, you can come on Cosmic Road, and I will be happy to get the word out about whether you like to hit trucks or not.
Pointing up.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have multiple of these things.
Powerful laser.
Yeah, I think there might be some music there. But yeah, I've shown this footage before of this object and this laser that it is giving off. Just really incredible footage of something really funky going on there. I don't know what this thing is doing. Is that a UFO beaming a laser beam? Is that a government drone doing something? Maybe sending a laser communication to a satellite, but then why is it beaming down? And what is that extra object they're doing? Really interesting object, really interesting footage of something going on. Well, there's more footage of something similar happening. Check this out. Yeah, this is New Jersey, December 2024. Oh, no, the second one is in the UK in 2020. Yeah. So the first one was one of the mystery drone sightings here recently in New Jersey, or in New Jersey, not here necessarily. But the other one is from a few years ago in the UK. So this is the UK footage of something doing something that looks very similar to that original footage. What's going on here? Maybe you guys can explain it. Maybe as a mundane explanation. A lot of these things do. So let me know what your explanation for these crazy UFO lasers are. Meanwhile, captured in New Jersey, another mystery drone sighting. You can kind of hear the noise it's making. Sounds plane-ish, right? So is it a plane? Well, you never know. Drone over Ringwood, New Jersey. This was way too slow and way too low to be a plane, according to Off the Wall. The lights on it were also way too weird to be a plane. It had what looked like a light bar that would be on top of an emergency vehicle. So yeah, is this another example of a mystery drone decked out like a Christmas tree with, maybe more lights than it needed and lights in a different configuration than it needed if it was actually a drone? So what are these things? Well, Bob Jacobs has told Jesse Michaels that he believes they are actually anomalous NHI vehicles. They are UFOs. This clip has music playing, so I won't play the actual clip. But of course, you can find that whole interview with Jesse Michaels, where Bob Jacobs, a really interesting figure in ufology, talks about his beliefs that the mystery drones are actually UFOs. And the more this mystery drone phenomenon drags out, the more I'm inclined to believe him. And things are getting weird out there, folks. Here's a new UFO making the rounds, this new UFO video of this weird, anomalous, cloudy, fish-like UFO. And it looks like there's two of them. Who knows what this is? Maybe it has a mundane explanation. Maybe it's just a plastic bag with some lights in it, right? I mean, that happens. But we have seen, and I have shown on the channel before, credible videos where UFOs have pretended to be clouds before, but they clearly weren't clouds. So is that what we're looking at here? Is this a hoax? Is this, plastic bag with a flashlight in it? What are we looking at here? It's a really, really interesting video, whatever it is. Looks pretty, it's a good video. I mean, if it's a hoax, it's a pretty fun one. So let me know what you think about these ghost fish in the sky. Now, there's just so many videos, guys. Maybe people are just looking up more now because of the mystery drone phenomenon, but I am just seeing so many UFO videos. I really need to just make a standalone video about all the UFO videos out there. Yeah, well, what's going on with this thing? Maybe those are human drones? Maybe this has a mundane explanation? Possible. I mean, I don't see them performing any, light speed maneuvers or anything. I think human drones could move like that. Maybe. I mean, they could. They totally could, right? But then you have these other objects converging on this flock of UFOs or whatever they are. Really interesting footage. I don't know what's going on with this footage, but it's great footage of something going on there. I don't think those are birds. I would like for them to, one of them to like blink out of existence and then back on or something, or to do something anomalous so that we could really, put this one to bed as either, mundane or exotic. But it's great footage. Great footage. So let me know what you think this is. Are we looking at UFOs doing UFO things because that's how they roll? Or are we looking at something more mundane? Yeah, you let me know what you guys think. From Mexico on December 22nd. Meanwhile, in Mexico on December 26th, witnesses capture a bizarre sight of an entire fleet of UAPs silently traversing the evening skyline. All right, let's check it out. So are these similar to the objects we just saw cavorting in the skies? Or is this something different? Let me know what you guys think. To me, I could totally see these things just like cavorting in the sky, just like that one video. But, who knows, guys. But I love that people are getting more and more videos of these anomalous objects. It's probably just a lens flare. Interesting. What was that? What was that thing? We saw this bright light. Yeah, that's just a lens flare. Pretty sure. But yeah, cool capture of something, of multiple objects passing over a town in Mexico. And here's multiple objects passing over Queens. Again, those could be human drones. They could be Chinese paper lanterns. The usual debunking sorts of things. but they could be something more anomalous. So let me know what you think these are. I think we really need more information about this particular sighting before we can decide. I'd like a longer video. Meanwhile, Tim Burchett is talking about the problem with skiffs and politics in UFOs.
I've heard some officials saying that the government is actually withholding the nature of reality from us as far as if we're being visited or not. I know you can't say much about whatever confidential briefings you had, but is that possible that could actually be being withheld from us?
100%. There's so much being withheld from us. I mean, they don't trust us. They tell us stuff we already know in a skiff, because if it's told you in the skiff, you're not allowed to say it anymore. You're not allowed to talk about it, even if you already knew about it. So I rarely go into the skiff anymore for any confidential briefings because of that reasoning. And federal government is not your friend. They're not here to help you any shape, form, or fashion. All they are there to do is perpetuate themselves in power, and they don't care about parties. Both parties are corrupted. Let's just be honest. And I get myself in trouble every time I say that. I talked about how, you got to pay to play in Congress. You have to raise so much money in Congress and kiss a lot of butt to move up in the ladder.
Sad but true, Tim. Sad but true. He knows what he's talking about. Congress and the government are not our friends in terms of UFO disclosure, and obviously corruption is rampant. Now, as far as whether they are hiding reality from us in the nature of the ET presence, well, of course they are. The control group has been working with beings for many years. Rear Admiral, or retired Admiral, isn't he also a Rear Admiral? Anyway, Tim Gallaudet, if I'm saying his name right, and I'm probably not. I've heard his name pronounced about 5 different ways. I don't know which one is the correct way. Has mentioned several times about how we are in contact with the beings.
I mean, you're probably one of the more highly cleared public officials from the military, past serving, who's basically come out publicly and said, you think this is real. Why do you think there is this cover-up? What are they concealing?
I think it's about time that we do disclose that we are in contact with non-human intelligence. That's what needs to be put out there in the public.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the like button and the subscribe button to be notified of future videos. Hit the bell. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, you can grab a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on that channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Beware of giraffes, guys. Beware of giraffes. See you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, being very careful of giraffes, signing out. And yes, they do eventually outrun the giraffe.